Most people think operating systems evolve at the same speed, like they're all climbing the same staircase, just on different steps. But every once in a while, you discover something that makes you realize one system quietly built an elevator, while the others are still arguing about the stairs. That's exactly what happened when I started using Linux seriously and discovered a feature that completely changed how I interact with my computer. And after using it daily, going back to Windows felt like traveling back in time, not by 1 or 2 years, but at least a decade. I'm not talking about flashy visuals, not about themes, not about performance tweaks, but something much deeper that changes how you install, update, rollback, and control your entire system, like a power user, without needing to be a wizard. When most people use Windows, software management is scattered everywhere. You download apps from websites, installers, zip files, random update pop-ups, background services, and sometimes even bundled junk. Every application has its own updater. One app updates silently, another interrupts your work, another requires a restart, and some never update at all unless you manually check. Over time, your system becomes a museum of mismatched versions and leftover files. You don't really control your software, you chase it. Now imagine a different approach. Imagine if your entire operating system and nearly every piece of software you use is controlled from one unified system, one place, one command, one process. That's Linux package management. And once it clicks, Windows starts to feel ancient. In Linux, software is not installed by hunting across the internet. Instead, you use a package manager connected to trusted repositories. Think of it like a giant curated app library maintained by your distribution. When you want something, you ask for it by name, and the system fetches it, installs it, verifies it, connects dependencies, and integrates it properly. No shady installers, no next finish clicking, no surprise toolbars. At first glance, this sounds like an app store. Windows has a store too, right? But this is where the difference becomes massive. Linux package management isn't just an app store, it's the backbone of the entire operating system. Your browser, your drivers, your desktop environment, your core utilities, everything is handled through the same system. Updates are unified. Dependencies are tracked. Conflicts are prevented. Let's say you want to install a video editor, a code editor, and a media converter. On Windows, you open a browser, search 3 sites, dodge ads, download 3 installers, click through 3 setups, and hope none of them added background services. On Linux, it's one command or one click in the software. Manager, done, clean, integrated. But here's where it becomes truly futuristic. Updates. On Windows, updates are fragmented. Windows updates itself. Your apps update themselves. Drivers update themselves. Some things update automatically, some don't, and some break. You get restart prompts at the worst time. You cross your fingers during major updates. On Linux, you update the entire system and all installed software in one operation. One action updates everything from the kernel to your smallest utility tool. You see exactly what changes. You can even preview it. It's predictable, transparent, reversible, and yes, reversible. This is where Windows starts to look 10 years behind. Many Linux systems support snapshots and rollbacks at the package or file system level. Before updates, the system can automatically take a snapshot. If something goes wrong, you roll back like nothing happened. It's like system restore, but reliable, fast, and built into the workflow. Some Linux file systems, like BTRFS and ZFS, make this incredibly powerful. You're not praying an update won't break your machine. You know you can undo it. Imagine installing a major system update on Windows with zero anxiety because you know you can instantly revert. That peace of mind is standard in many Linux setups. Then there's dependency. Resolution, something Windows users rarely think about because they suffer from its absence. On Linux, if an application needs specific libraries, the package manager fetches them automatically. No missing DLL errors. No manual runtime installations. No guessing. The system understands relationships between software pieces. Even more impressive is how Linux handles different versions. You can install multiple versions of tools, libraries, or runtimes, side by side, without chaos. Developers love this. Power users love this. It means experimentation doesn't equal destruction. Now let's talk about scripting and automation. Once you understand package management, you realize you can recreate your entire software environment with a single script. New machine, fresh install, run your setup script, and your system rebuilds itself. Apps, tools, configurations automatically. It's like cloning your digital workspace. Try doing that on Windows without third-party tools and a pile of manual steps. And it goes further. Many Linux package managers allow querying, verification, and integrity checks. You can see exactly where files are installed, what package owns them, and whether anything has been modified. It turns your system from a mystery box into a transparent machine. Security also improves dramatically. Because software comes from signed repositories, the risk of tampered installers drops. You're not blindly trusting random downloads. Updates arrive through secure channels. The supply chain is controlled and visible. Then there are modern package formats like Flatpak, Snap, and AppImage that add sandboxing and portability. These let apps run isolated from the base system, reducing breakage and increasing security. You can test software without contaminating your environment. Remove it, and it's gone cleanly. Windows tries to patch over this with portable apps and store apps, but it's inconsistent and incomplete. Linux treats clean software lifecycle management as a core design principle, not an afterthought. Let's talk speed. Installing software through Linux package managers is often dramatically faster. No bloated installers. No animated progress bars pretending to work. Just direct file deployment and configuration. It feels efficient because it is efficient. Disk usage also benefits. Shared dependencies are reused instead of duplicated across applications. This reduces clutter and saves space. Your system stays lean even as you install more tools. For developers and technical users, this feature changes everything. Need a web server, database, compiler, container engine, and networking tools. That's a few commands. Entire development stacks deploy in minutes, consistently. And if you want bleeding-edge software, many distributions offer multiple repository channels, stable testing, rolling nightly. You choose your risk level. You control freshness versus stability. That level of control simply doesn't exist in mainstream Windows software distribution. But here's the part that really makes Windows feel behind transparency. In Linux, you see what's happening. Install logs, update logs, dependency trees, version numbers, change lists. You're not treated like a child user who must be shielded from technical details. You're trusted with information. That changes how you relate to your machine. Once you experience that level of visibility and control, going back to mystery updates and hidden installers feels primitive. Even enterprise environments benefit. Fleet management becomes easier when systems can be updated and configured through centralized repositories and scripted installs. Consistency across machines becomes achievable without expensive proprietary tooling. There's also the cultural effect. Because Linux package management is open and standardized, communities build massive repositories of software, niche tools, research utilities, advanced networking programs. Things that would never appear in commercial app stores are readily available. It turns your OS into a toolbox rather than a locked showroom. And surprisingly, this doesn't make Linux harder. It often makes it easier. Beginners quickly learn a few install commands and become more efficient than point-and-click workflows. It scales with your skill level instead of limiting it. Over time, you stop thinking of software as something you download and start thinking of it as something you declare. You tell the system what you want, it handles the rest. That mental shift is powerful. Windows is slowly moving in this direction with tools like Winget and package managers, but it's still layered on top rather than built into the foundation. Linux designed this model decades ago and refined it continuously. So when people ask what feature makes Linux feel futuristic compared to Windows, it's not flashy graphics or customization. It's the unified, transparent, scriptable, reversible, secure software management system that treats your computer like an engineered platform instead of a patchwork. Once you experience installing, updating, rolling back, auditing, and replicating your entire system with clean commands and trusted repositories, the old download installer model feels outdated. It's like switching from manually managing files to using version control. You never want to go back. And that's the moment you realize something surprising. The The biggest innovation isn't always what you see on the screen. Sometimes it's the invisible system that makes everything else finally make sense.